Okay. Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to another video of my channel. So from the thumbnail, you get to know that this is not a regular video. So this will be a kind of interview that I am taking. So this is a series of videos that I'll be uploading in my channel, and this is the first video of that series. And in this series of videos, I'll be asking few of my friends who has been gate toppers in previous year gates, and maybe they have completed their masters from any IITs or IISc, or maybe they are currently doing also. So in today's session, we have with us Mr. Paarth Gupta. Thank you, Paarth, for accepting my invitation and coming into the first video of this channel, of this series.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Okay. So Paarth was All India Rank 7 in GATE 2018, and he has completed his masters from IISc Bangalore from 2018 to 20, and currently he's working with Goldman Sachs. So Paarth, if you can just introduce yourself and say a brief background about yourself, that will be helpful for the audience.
Yeah, thanks for the lovely introduction. Hi guys, myself Paarth. I have done my bachelor's from Sri Mata Vaishnavi University into 2018, and then I cracked GATE with an All India Rank 7 in 2018 itself, and then joined IISc Bangalore for my masters, and currently I'm working with Goldman Sachs as a senior analyst.
Okay. So my first question is that why after completing your B.Tech you opt for GATE and higher study? Why didn't go for any job?
Okay, so to be honest, when I was doing my bachelor's, I was more inclined towards theory, and I was not very good with the coding part at that time. And the academia of my course was like really intriguing, and that's why I tried. I just tried Gate once, and when I started with the Gate, it seemed like that it is something that I can do, and that is why I tried that, and it worked well. So yeah, I'm here.
Okay. And in your final year only, you're able to crack GATE, or you took a break and then prepared for
Yeah.
becoming crack?
So in my case, I started in my seventh sem around the when I decided that I will be giving Gate. So when I cracked Gate, I was in my final sem itself. So that was really lucky for me. But usually it takes some time. But for me, I didn't take a gap in between.
Okay. So how did you take your preparation? I mean, did you take any coaching for the preparation, or if you did it by self-study?
So yeah, I took the coaching. I took Ravindra Babu sir's recorded session course. So it had his course full videos, recorded sessions, and that helped me a lot because it was like very concise. But if someone is preparing from say third year or something, he can crack by himself also. But in my case, I just had 8 months, and I thought it would be better to take the course and just focus on the courses and syllabus that was required.
Okay. So how did you prepare your own notes? If you can just share. I mean, when you're preparing, how did you prepare the own notes? Because I know you have a special notes, so if you can just share about it.
So the thing is that these things are very user specific. The person who's preparing, he should know that what kind of notes he or she needs. As I just mentioned that I started preparing just 8 months back. So I was knowing that if I complete the whole syllabus, I won't have much time to revise, right? So I was trying to save as much time as possible. So when I was preparing for Gate, I was not preparing very thorough notes. I was just preparing very, very important things if I see. So I just note down. And that is why I just had one notebook which had all the notes for every subject. But it's not something that if I give that notebook to someone and it would be helpful, because it just had a very, very less notes. And the reason why I had less notes was that I was not having much time to write, and then probably more time at the end to revise. That's why I just kept it short. But it totally depends. Like I know you as a person, so you have the tendency to create like lengthy notes, which is like okay, like revise that I know for myself, and that is the only reason I don't create a lot of notes. It's better. So for me, the revision strategy was probably just to give as much mock test as possible, and that would take my revision to a next step. But people have the tendency to like read their own notes and for the revision purpose. So yeah.
And now next question is how important you think is previous year questions? Gate question.
So so no doubt the previous year questions are important in each and every exam. But a lot of people do this mistake that they start their preparation with previous year questions, or once they have done one part, for example, they have done TOC, they try to do the previous year questions, which is not good because those questions are very precious. You should keep it at the time when you are fully prepared for the exam, because those that will be a reality check on how good you are with the preparation. So you should probably prepare for an exam, then give some mock tests, practice tests or something, and then finally try to solve those previous year questions to see how well you are doing and where are you lacking. So, but in short, they're very, very important. But don't go too far because syllabus is because the patterns are changing. Syllabus and pattern both are changing from time to time. So we should like probably focus to last 5 or max 7 years of preparation. That is like more than sufficient.
Okay. And coming to this mock test part, how many mock tests you have given, or how you think that how important it is for your preparation?
So as I told, right, so I was not having any revision notebook with me. So it was a drawback also because I was not having a revision notebook. And then probably in December end, I completed my whole syllabus. So I had probably 40, 45, 50 days and I was not having anything to revise. So what I thought is now I cannot make my own notes again and then revise. So I just took a test series. So I gave a lot of test series. So I took. So I already have had Ravindra Babu sir's test series. I also took ACE test series along with it, and the reason why I took that because I was not having anything to revise, and those tests were pretty small in number. So for me, two test series worked. But if someone is preparing properly, one test series should be sufficient. But they should not skip any test, for example, a small test or a subject level test, multi-subject level test, because those worked as a revision strategy for me. It would probably be different for different persons. But if you think one test series is small, you should probably take ADZ test series, because ADZ test series is like, I think it's better than ACE test series. But you can opt for any one of them because they have a lot of experience. And there are a lot of free test series available as well. So before taking a test series for like 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, you should probably try some few test series, and you should definitely know that you are probably sure for Gate and then only spend some money on it.
Okay. So the next question is: have you only prepared for GATE or other exams also like Paarth, DRDO, ISRO? Because many people, all the exams are happening simultaneously. So yeah.
As you know, the syllabus for all these exams are almost the same. But at that time, I was not into government services. I was not planning to opt for a job. That is why I didn't give exam for Paarth, ISRO and stuff. But what I would say is the other reason was that it was my first attempt and I was not very sure that I would able to crack the exam. That's why I didn't fill the forms as well. But yes, if a person is preparing, he should definitely fill one or two exams if he's looking for government jobs, because I think the PSUs are almost at the par with when it comes to ISRO and bar. So if someone is looking for a job, he should definitely fill those forms because the syllabus is same and it doesn't make any sense not to fill them.
Okay. So once you have this All India rank 7, so did you think of joining any PSUs, or you are from beginning only you are focusing on higher studies and M.Tech?
So to be honest, I was looking for higher studies, but not from IISc. I was looking for higher studies from IIT Bombay. So it was like every non-IITians has a dream of going to an IIT one day. But when I got that opportunity, I like before the result of GATE, I was pretty sure that I'll be joining IIT Bombay. But then I started doing my research, and the numbers came out to be on the side of IISc. So IISc turned out to be a bit better than IIT Bombay, and I have no regret of joining IISc because like it turned out to be good for me as well. But I would say when it comes to PSUs, yes, my family wanted to be a part of a PSU. But my GATE journey started with the aim of doing masters, and I knew the opportunities that would be coming after GATE would be much better than the PSUs, and that was the only reason for me not joining PSUs. One point that I want to make is that the very bad thing that I don't like about PSUs is that you can be posted anywhere, whereas when you are in this field, you can opt to be wherever you want, at least in some choices you have. And that is what I feel, that you should have that opportunity to at least decide where you want to work, where you want to spend your life. That was the only reason I didn't opt it for any government job, and went on to do the masters.
Okay. So next question is regarding that only, that why not IIT Bombay, why IISc you have chosen, and if you just elaborate a bit, what was your research?
Yeah, so I can tell you. For example, if I talk about myself, right? So it was a very difficult decision to make between IIT Bombay and IISc Bangalore. Those two are the best institutes of India. The reason I opted for IISc Bangalore is that first of all, I wanted to spend as much time as possible on my masters. But when we talk about IIT Bombay, you have to take a few courses for your juniors as well. You have to take TA-ship as well, which is a good in a way, but the thing is that you have to spend time on a particular thing, whereas in IISc Bangalore you could have spent those time on research. The other thing that I found out in my experience as well is that the exposure of research that IISc Bangalore gives, IIT Bombay does not have that exposure at all. Number three is that IISc Bangalore is very open to whatever you want to take, whatever field you want to opt for, you can opt for in that. I am not sure about IIT Bombay, but when I was doing my research, the placement stats were also in favor of IISc Bangalore, majorly because you don't have bachelors here and you're the ones competing for the jobs, best jobs. But that's just a minor thing. The major thing I would say definitely was the research exposure, because a lot of people have this misunderstanding that in IISc Bangalore it's only research and you won't get jobs. But the fact says that, for example, our batch or our seniors, which we have seen, everyone gets placed, and those placements are far better than any IITs I have seen. Yes, some years the numbers might change, but right now, if I say the placement stats are far better in IISc, and given the placement stats are better in IISc, and you get the exposure for the research, and if you want to opt for PhDs and stuff, I don't see any reason anyone would opt for IIT Bombay and not IIT Bangalore. And people might say that research exposure is not that good. We can pick up the numbers of people opting for PhDs from IIScs compared to people opting for PhDs from IITs. That would definitely show the exposure that people get. That was my research that I did.
Okay, so the next question is, how was your overall experience in IISc? I mean, how was the courses? I mean, when you come to your B.Tech college to IISc, how was your overall experience? Because many people find it very tough. So if you just share your overall experience.
So it is tough. It is tough. So people can't expect that before IISc you're not getting a job for, let's say, 10 lakhs, and instantly you'll do something and you'll get a job for 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs. This is not the way. So you have to so IIScs or IITs make you to that capability, make you to that level, so that you earn that job, right? So you just have 2 years, and out of those 2 years you just have 1 year before the placements. So you have to make yourself to that level in that 1 year itself. So yes, the life is tough there. When I compare my life, so first sem was very difficult. I had 4 courses, and it was like very difficult to finish all those 4 courses in that first sem. But once it was done, in the beginning of second sem, the internship started, and I was fortunate enough to get an internship in Goldman Sachs, and that was a turning point. Like after that, the workload decreased and the pressure decreased because I had a internship in hand, and I knew that I'll at least have 2 months of experience there. And then probably after 1 year, when I went there, I had that 2 months of internship. And then probably when I got the PPO, then it was like amazing life in IISc Bangalore.
Okay, so the next question is, as you were saying that you got pre-placement offer, so you didn't opt for the actual placement session. So how was your experience during the interview for internship?
Internship interview was quite tough for me because it was like the first time and I would say that at that time I was like giving interviews for Amazon, Flipkart, and Goldman Sachs, and it was like very tiring as well. But Goldman Sachs was turned out to be the first one to give the interview. So when I was giving the interview, they had like 3 or 4 rounds. One of those rounds was probably related to the dynamic programming, and then one was on puzzle puzzle problem solving and stuff, and one was on basic computer science knowledge and machine learning knowledge and stuff like that. But those interviews challenge you a lot because, first of all, it's just one sem into IISc and they expect a lot from you. But on the other hand, it gives a lot of boost as well. For example, if you're giving so many interviews of so many product based companies in one day, and so you have to take it positively. And on the other hand, you also have to think that when company comes, they are there to take people, right? So you are competing amongst the peers, so they'll take one of you, right? Or probably few of you. So you should have that capability to like withstand out of them. So I would say that, that day also, right? So I was able to crack only one interview, and Amazon and Flipkart I was not able to crack, right? So you need a luck as well. But yes, on a higher level, you need some basic knowledge and confidence as well to crack such interviews.
Okay. Now, when you went for interview internship in Goldman Sachs during summer, how was your experience there in the office?
It was very different because it was my first job. Even though it was just for 2 months, but it was my first job. I went there. I was quite nervous as well because I was not knowing how does it work, how does people work in offices and stuff. But I would say that those 2 months was very easy to pass because there were like really good people there. They helped me a lot. So when I went there, to be honest, in those 2 months I didn't contribute much because it's very difficult to go at a new place and just start contributing. But yes, what they were working on, what was my project, what I need to work on, the responsibilities were clear. And were a lot of people who were helping me a lot. And that is why I would say that the experience was really good. The Goldman Sachs office was also very good. It was like a new experience for me as well. But it turned out to be like a really fantastic experience.
That was the last time you visited office, right? After getting the job, you didn't visit the office. Currently, you're
So the
working.
joining, yeah, and that is one point. And I see a lot of people doing the internships from work from home. So definitely that is like a very different experience for them as well, because like they face a lot of difficulties, and in just 2 months they have to do something, and the 2 months just run away when you're not in office, right? So I would say that I was lucky enough to be in office in those 2 months. But as of now, yes, now work from home is going on, and with the new cases coming up, I think it will be extended more.
Yeah. And did you opt for any off-campus after getting this replacement offer? I mean, the final semester.
Yes, I had a PV, right? So I was not allowed to sit for an on-campus placements when they were going on. It's a good thing and a bad thing on the same side. But when talking about off-campus placements, I had the opportunity to try for off-campus placements, and I did wanted to try. But the thing is that Corona came in, and I was at home, and a lot of companies were in the freeze mode at that time. I wanted to try for Amazon, but unfortunately, I did not get an opportunity for the interviews as well. So I did try, but the interviews didn't go through because the freeze was there. And once I started, I didn't want to leave the company like within a month or so. So I just dropped it at that time.
So, how are you doing at your job now after completing M.Tech? How is your experience so far?
Technically speaking, when I joined Goldman Sachs, I was not. It was very difficult because it was like onboarding was virtual and there was a lot of questions, a lot of doubts. But slowly and steadily, it went fine. I was really fortunate to get a really good team there as well. People were really helpful, and I still like thank a lot of them. But when I talk about my learning curve, so my learning curve started when I joined Goldman Sachs, and like for 2-3 months, it took some time to learn stuff and contribute. And once I knew what was happening and how it was happening, I started contributing. And then I realized it's not very difficult to contribute in product-based companies as well. It's the same thing. And you just need to know what you're working on, how you're working on. And what I would say is keep it simple, right? So just take a small amount of work, but finish on time. That is probably a good thing to do. And I would say like it's been 18 months now. I still think that I'm very new to Goldman Sachs, but it's 18 months and it has been a really good experience.
So, what changes do you see in your life before joining IISc and after graduating from there?
So on a higher level, on a higher level, I would say that when I was in my bachelor's, it was not the things were not very clear that why we are studying this and why, because there was not no practical knowledge of the stuff, right? When we went to IISc, all those things that we were reading for the last 4 months, we brought them into practical use, and that was the thing that motivates you as an engineer, right? When you know that you're reading something and how you can use it. So I would say that that was one thing, and the other thing was that the kind of placements that seniors get when you are first year, right? So it just boosts you a lot when you see everyone getting really good placements, dream placements that you were thinking of when you were in your bachelor's. So that motivates you a lot, right? So that was like a boosting thing that happens for the juniors as well. And when I talk about life-changing experiences, is getting a job at Goldman Sachs, right? It's like people dream about going into product-based companies, and when you get one, it's like really, really good that you take that opportunity and use that opportunity as much as possible.
Okay. Yeah, so that's about. So, any final suggestion or tips for the future aspirants you want to give?
So this is a suggestion that I give to everyone. So don't think about Gate just when Gate is just about to come. I think if you want to start Gate, probably third sem or fourth sem is the best way to start. And you don't have to prepare it for a competitive level exam, right? So most of the subjects are there in your third sem, fourth sem, and so on. So for example, in your third sem, you just have two courses which are coming in Gate, right? So prepare them at that time itself, right? It's not very difficult. If you have TUC, I would say 50 to 60% of the syllabus that comes in Gate will be covered in your college exams. So man, prepare at that time itself. It would like all the syllabus would be completed before before the end of seventh semester. And just don't give Gate because people are giving Gate. You should be interested, and that is when you will realize that you can give Gate and you should give Gate, right? Because there are other exams also that are much more important, or I would say equally important than Gate. So you should know which exam you are made for, and you should try that exam. Another thing is that please don't waste money on coaching if you're not interested in Gate. You should first try Gate on your own for one or two subjects, try the questions, and then see if you're seriously interested for Gate. Try taking a coaching or test series or something. It's not a very difficult exam, I would say, compared to a lot of other exams that we have in India right now. But the competitiveness is continuously increasing in Gate as well. So probably you need to pace up with that.
Yeah, so that's it. So thank you, Parth. Thank you for giving your time and share your experience both in GATE and IISc. And hopefully, it will be helpful for all the students who will be giving GATE this year or in the coming years also.